What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. How's it going? How we doing today? Hope you are all well. We have an update today in the Delphi case. I wasn't going to stream today, but I figured with this update, why not? Let's do a quick update, get people caught up to speed, and then we can go from there. I'm going to wait for some people to join. Make sure everything's running smoothly on my end here. Panda B, how's it going? Good to see you in here. For those of you who have been following the channel, you'll know that we typically have been following the Summer Wells stream, or the Summer Wells case. And so it's tough. It's tough to follow all these stories, especially cases like the Delphi case that have so many little things. And the Michael Vaughn case, for instance, that was another one we covered recently. And so, yes, Panda B, we are. I think I have heard that. But to finish my point, it's still worth hopping on here and updating you guys. Tracy, you are not late. We just started. I want to mention a couple streamers or YouTubers up front that are pretty solid when it comes to the Delphi case, and that is Gray Hughes Investigates. I've found a lot of really valuable information from them, as well as Zav Girl. So those are two people I just want to mention up front at the beginning of the stream. Those are two solid creators. I by no means am following this case like, day by day. Obviously, I check different cases to see if there's updates, and now we have one here. So we'll give the rest of the people a chance to get that YouTube notification. Hop in here before we dive into it. Usually we wait about 5 minutes. So, anyways, let's say hey to people as they're joining. Amy, how's it going? From Rockingham, North Carolina, Amy. Nice. I'm going to be in Durham in just a couple weeks. Kat, how's it going? Jackie from Scotland. Good to see you. Jules. Tracy, Mama Bear. Hi from England. Hi, Mama Bear. Sia, VC. Hey. Paige from DC, out on the road but listening in the car. DC in the house. Paige, I'm in DC next week. Or somewhere in Virginia and DC, I think. I don't know. I'm somewhere near there next week. The end of next week. Darla in the house. Hello, Jill. How are you feeling? God bless. I'm feeling great. Yeah, happy Friday. I just made a nice smoothie. It's in one of these color changing cups for if the cup's cold, so it's obviously changed the color of this cup. And yeah, it's a good day. Ty, how's it going? Pink, how's it going? Priya, Deborah, Nella, of course, in the house. Cool. Good afternoon, Chloe's mom. The Toot Fairy. Ireland in the house. Nicola, nice. Beautiful wife and I are trying to go to Ireland very soon. I want to visit where she lived for a little while, so I'm excited about that. Enjoy the cherry blossoms in DC. Oh, nice. Thank you. I've never been to DC, so this is great. Okay. Anyways, we're like 5 minutes in now. Let's hop in. Hello from Canada. Good to see the people that are in here. Be sure to hit that like button on your way in so we get this video out into the YouTube world, the YouTube algorithm. Hey Daniel. Good to see you. Really, this isn't going to be a super long live stream, but I want to go through a couple videos. We're going to watch this News Nation clip right now together. I may pause it a little bit. A couple times here and there just to comment on it, and then we're going to listen to a couple of other things. There was a transcript that came out, which I have linked in the description down below. The podcasters from the podcast The Murder Sheet were able to obtain this transcript. So kudos to the people over at the Murder Sheet podcast. I think one of them is a lawyer, and we're going to hear from them in this interview. But they were able to like publicly access these records, which is really awesome. So There's a podcast that is starting a YouTube channel that has all the leaked. Yes, Panda Bee. Exactly. Let's just hop into it because they describe it in this video. So this is from last night. This is the newest update in the Delphi case. I appreciate you guys sending me tweets, DMs, emails with this update. So we're going to just go through kind of the most recent update around this case right now, and then we'll comment on that together.
Now to an update out of Delphi, Indiana, and the search for a killer. This is a case we have been following closely here on Prime. Transcripts from a police interview detail some of Libby German and Abby Williams' final conversations before the girls were killed. In 2017, the best friends went for a walk on a popular trail in Delphi, but they never returned home. Their bodies were later discovered near the Monon High Bridge. No one has ever been arrested in the case and in their deaths, but there is this short video, and it shows a man approaching the girls, and there is an audio clip of him saying, "Down the hill." Libby took that video. Could these new transcripts that are now coming to light offer some clues into who murdered the girls? Kelly Beeson is here with what we have learned, and police have remained very tight-lipped about where they're at in the case.
They have, and these are some breaking new details, Marnie. One of the most compelling pieces details a back and forth a man named Keegan Kline had with investigators after he was arrested and charged with sex crimes in 2020. During that exchange, Kline is insistent he did not kill Abby or Libby. It's a story that's haunted the tight-knit community of Delphi, Indiana for years. Two teenage girls, Libby German and Abby Williams, found murdered near a community hiking trail in 2017. The best evidence police have of the girls' suspected killer came from video on Libby's cell phone and this audio recording with a voice seeming to say, the same phone also holding other leads, including conversations with a social media account under the name Anthony Schatz. But the man behind the account is not the man in these photos. It's this man, Keegan Kline, who was arrested for 30 counts of child solicitation, child exploitation, and possession of child pornography based on what was found on his electronic devices.
I think most people following this case can agree, even if you're on one side or another about who you think is involved. I see Angela saying, I definitely think it's Keegan and his dad or just his dad. One thing you can't deny is the fact that this Keegan guy is an absolute I don't even know the word for him, right? Like disgusting. Some of the things, there's like 30 counts against this guy. Soliciting minors, possession of child P, just all these different horrific accusations, right? He's being accused of these things, but they've also found it on his phone as well. So it's like they just got to figure out exactly how much he's guilty of in this situation. But we can all, I think, hopefully agree that this guy is a monster. Exactly, Daniel, or Danielle. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Hey, Shay, how's it going? MTV, good to see you. Marsha, slurp, slurp. Yep. Lady May, yeah, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't know if you're talking about Keegan exactly. But yeah, this guy's a real POS.
During his interrogation by authorities, Kline was confronted with the knowledge that detectives knew he was communicating with Libby and or her friends the night before she disappeared. I literally have no clue how that girl died, Kline said. Yeah, it's a weird-ass coincidence that I happened to talk to her. Like, I get that. Last December 9th, Kline talked to a writer who visited him in the Miami County Jail. Do you think your dad could have been accessing that profile, Kline has asked? Yeah, I do.
Okay, now that's a lot right there already. That is a lot to have said in this interview with him in jail. Also, we're almost at 200 people, guys. Thanks for joining on a Friday afternoon at like 3 on the East Coast. Be sure to hit that like button because this isn't the most popular time to go live on YouTube in terms of reach. So those likes definitely help get this video out there. Thanks for being here. Listen to this again. Like, also him saying like, yeah, it is weird that I happened to talk to her. I get that. Like, yeah, it is weird. That's what we're talking about here. It's completely weird. It's not like he was in a city of, 2 million people and he had this account that he was using to kind of catfish and lure, or not lure, but solicit photos, because he for sure was soliciting photos from minors, from teenagers, younger than teenagers. Allegedly, some of the younger stuff. It is weird that he is tied to this very horrific story in a relatively small town. So this guy. Also, the fact that he throws his dad under the bus like that, when they ask the question, do you think your dad can be involved? Like, Angela, I think, the fact that the dad is allowing the son to take the fall and not stand up and admit it, I hope the son is willing to spill the beans. Right. He's already throwing the dad under the bus, Angela. It's crazy. Let's listen to this again and then we'll keep working. Bex, also, yes, they probably work as a team. That's a lot of people's theories in this, is that maybe Keegan wasn't the bridge guy on that day, but that he was working to build a network of people that they could prey on. Anyways, continuing on.
It's a weird-ass coincidence that I happened to talk to her. I get that. Last December 9th, Klein talked to a writer who visited him in the Miami County Jail. Do you think your dad could have been accessing that profile, Klein is asked? Yeah, I do, he says. You think he may have been using that profile to talk to girls, he's asked? Yeah, says Klein. That's the only other person that could have, because he lived there. You know what I mean? So you guys had all access to the same electronic items, he is asked, right? Yeah.
State police issued a statement to one of our local affiliates.
Also strange that they just had access to each other's personal devices, phones, tablets, computers, whatever. So it's like, why? Why? My dad's never touched my phone. I've shared photos from family gatherings and been like, here's some, it's so strange to share. If you were just a family that had a younger child that was starting to enter that age where maybe cell phones you're a little too young for it, but you're starting to let your kid maybe use your phone to talk to friends and to schedule hangouts, things like that. I can get using the same phone, but two adults having access to a phone, and one of them is so very clearly a monster when it comes to being a child predator. The dad is suspicious for sure, just because of that. And this is all alleged, right? He may just be throwing his dad under the bus because he knows that he's in deep, deep crap to begin with. But it's strange for sure. Daniel says, Aaron, they are into sick deeds together. You are not like them. Well, yeah, I mean, I can think what the possibility is there, though. So it's crazy. Yeah. Leah 2604, like father, like son. Whew. Continuing on. Also, hey, True Crime with Eve, good to see you. There's some more people that joined. So thanks for joining. I see you guys in the comments. We're just trying to kind of roll through this. But thank you for being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. Yeah, I'm enjoying seeing you guys in the chat.
This afternoon, making it clear that police did not release this transcript. They're declining to comment, Marnie, due to the ongoing investigation. And not to compromise the investigation as well. Kelly, thank you. I want to bring in Anya Kane and Kevin Greeley. They're hosts of the Murder Sheet podcast, and we're the first to obtain these transcripts. They are both joining us live tonight. Thank you both. As I've said, law enforcement working this case have kept all of the details, the evidence of the investigation very close to the chest. They have not revealed much, even the relation with Keegan Klein. How did you get a hold of this transcript?
I happen to be an attorney here in the state of Indiana, and attorneys here have access to a court database where documents from all court cases in the state of Indiana are posted, not just cases you may happen to be involved in. And I went to check to see if there was any progress in the Keegan Klein case, and I saw to my surprise that these two documents had been posted. And so I quickly downloaded them, and as I started reading them, I became aware that there were a lot of details in them that should actually have not been made public, such as names of innocent people. And that's when I realized that those documents had been posted in error. And in fact, shortly thereafter, they were removed from the website.
So, Kevin, how are police responding? Have you spoken with investigators who are working the case?
We reached out to law enforcement as soon as we got the documents, and we let them know what we had. And I can't really go into a lot of detail, but I can say that after those conversations, we were left with a strong impression that releasing these transcripts would not cause any damage to the investigation, as long as we cut out the names of innocent people, such as victims or associates of the Klein family who had nothing to do with these awful crimes.
What stood out to both of you? Anya, you can chime in on this, reading the exchange between Keegan Klein and investigators.
Absolutely. It's a completely chilling document. You have all of this really horrific information about child sexual abuse materials, and those are the charges that Keegan is currently facing. And then on the other hand, you have now this link with the Delphi murders, and police basically grilling Keegan on, why was the Anthony Schatz account communicating with Liberty German shortly before her murder, and why was the Anthony Schatz account saying that it was supposed to meet Liberty the day of the murders, but that she never showed up. So you're starting to see this link form between Keegan Klein, the Anthony Schatz account, and the Delphi murders. So it's making this clear, what we've known since December 2021, when Keegan Klein sort of first came on the public radar.
A serious connection at that. I mean, really, like, not just a small, like, a coincidence that, oh, this person, like, it would be different if, like, something that, is it Keegan or Keegan? I know she was saying Keegan. I'm going to say Keegan Klein. It would be so different if this Keegan Klein guy had, like, a page that was, like, liking a bunch of Abby or Libby's photos, for example, because that would still be somewhat of a connection and something to look into. Like, who's this guy with this fake account that's connecting, at least socially, on social media in a way, to these girls? But this is somebody that has proven to have been communicating, like, in the days leading up to this brutal, horrific murder. Like, you can't overlook the fact that there's something weird there, even if it's not Keegan, right? It's like, look everywhere else. And I saw some people saying, like, how did I not notice, Tracy says, how did I miss the guy's dad being involved? This is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think with a case like this, there's just so many things that can be overlooked. And Angela, I saw your comment about, this is something that has happened in Keegan's life since childhood. This is his normal. This is exactly the same kind of stuff I sent you a while back. People raise their kids to be involved. Yeah, I think, it's crazy. Let's finish this video, and then we're going to go into the interview from the jail with Keegan himself. He's on video. And then we'll go through a few of those, like, key points in that transcript. And then I kind of want to show you guys some photos of Keegan's dad and just kind of see what they look like in comparison to the composite sketch.
On the radar of police much sooner than that, right? They questioned him weeks after the girls' bodies turned up, correct?
Yes, that's right. He says, and the police say in the interview, that he was polygraphed shortly after the murders, about 2 weeks later.
So tell people at home who aren't as familiar with this case as we are, who he is, where he's been in the time they questioned him from the start until his arrest, and now he's in jail.
Yeah, absolutely. Keegan Anthony Klein is a 27-year-old Indiana native. He's from the area near Delphi, around Peru, Indiana. Spent time in Young America, Indiana, growing up. We've actually talked to a few of his friends and people who knew him. They all described him as, somebody who never really had a consistent job. He would often brag a lot about being very much into the drug trade and being a musician and whatnot, but people sort of learn to take that with a grain of salt. But the people we spoke to were utterly shocked by some of the charges against him regarding the child sexual abuse materials. They thought he was pretty harmless.
Kevin, has he ever been named a person of interest in the girls' deaths?
He's never been officially named a person of interest in the girl's death. However, because of his communications with her, his home was searched within a couple of weeks after the murders of these girls. And at that time, according to these documents, he was given a polygraph test about the murders and his knowledge of them. And according to Klein in these documents, he failed that test.
I just have a couple of seconds left. Anya, I'll let you take this last one.
Okay, but he's not a person of interest? I mean, I get that it takes a lot more than just, you have to have concrete, they have to have a really solid reason to name someone a person of interest. They don't just like throw those out there. But that's just so strange. A failed polygraph, communication in the days leading up, at least somewhat, I mean, yeah, person of interest is person, he's a person of interest to them, likely, without really deeming it and naming that.
I just have a couple of seconds left. Anya, I'll let you take this last one. It's been 5 years, no major leads. Many of the folks who follow this case closely, with the video and evidence that we do have, wonder why haven't we had an arrest in the case? Police have made it seem like they're close. Do you believe they are?
Having reviewed this transcript, I do. It seems like they are very much on a path here, looking into this Kagan Klein case and its associates. And so we think that they may be onto something with this.
Let's hope so.
Okay, so just like calcification says, I think law enforcement is just getting all their ducks in a row. And that's exactly what these people from this podcast, from the Murder Sheet podcast, are saying as well, is like, law enforcement probably has quite a bit right now. And even there was a News Nation kind of documentary that came out maybe 2 months ago. It was like a 45-minute feature on the Delphi case. At the end, the main kind of lead detective or the sheriff, I can't remember exactly who it is involved, did say that they are close. And I don't know if he was just, I talked about that in my last stream. I don't know if he was just saying that in an effort to put a little fear in the person that is still out there, possibly and probably watching these news clips, these press conferences, whatever it may be. So it could have been just a bluff, right? Trying to instill a little fear in who may be out there. But I think that they probably do have quite a bit. Through all of this information, these aren't just like coincidences. This is like a pretty serious thing that this Keegan guy's involved in. And at the very least, he may know something. He may be involved with someone that is connected. Sia says, I think the dad and son definitely have something to do with this case. I agree. And once again, everything that we talk about on this channel is alleged. And I should make a thing at the beginning of each one of my streams that we talk about all different theories, speculations, and we speculate on a lot of different ideas around some of these cases. And I don't want that to, I just want this to be a place where we can be chatting and Sia can say that, she thinks that they have something to do with it. That's not going on public record and saying with 100% fact, I know that they're involved because of this and this and this. It's just your opinion. Like, this is suspicious, right? So I think that this is a really good space for that. Mimi says, I want this case to be solved. Yeah, you and many, many others, for sure. Let's quickly listen to this one. Actually, we'll listen to the prison tape with Keegan Klein. This guy. Okay, so that's going to play a quick ad because I've had this page pulled up on my tab for like 30 minutes prior to this stream. So while that's going, I'll just go ahead and say thanks to the 140 people that have hit the like button so far. We have 436 people. So let's try to get to 200 likes while we play this video and keep getting this stream out into the YouTube algorithm. That's how it works. Thank you guys so much. All right, here we go.
I feel like I'm being harassed completely.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Not at all, and I've gave up my DNA, a hair follicle test. I've done everything they wanted me to.
In December, Delphi investigators announced that Catfish account Anthony Schatz was active on Instagram and Snapchat in 2016 and 2017. And they asked for anyone who interacted with that profile to come forward.
So these photos here of this young male model are the ones that Keegan was using. For those of you who aren't as familiar with the case, he was using these photos to pose as an underage or a younger male, when in reality, he was this disgusting guy behind the keyboard, behind the phone.
But more than a year ago, then 26-year-old Kegan Kline admitted to investigators that he was behind the fake profile and that he used it to ask young girls for nude pictures and videos. Tell me about Anthony Schatz. Why did you create that profile?
I don't really know. I was just lonely, you know what I mean?
He admitted when he was being booked that that's what he was using the profile for, to solicit photos from young girls. Yet when he's confronted, being recorded, talking to a writer, he doesn't have the guts to admit what he did. Like, admit what you did. This guy's a coward.
I don't really know.
Oh, you don't know.
Lonely, you know what I mean? Just talking to people. I don't know why I did it, really.
And were you ever trying to meet these girls in real life that you were talking to?
No, never.
Just 11 days after the murders of Abby and Libby, task force investigators served a search warrant on the home that Kegan shared with his dad. At the time, the FBI told the Lafayette Journal and Courier they found nothing to indicate a connection to the Delphi case. Kegan's electronics were confiscated then, but he wasn't arrested until 3 years later. He's now facing 30 counts of child pornography and child solicitation in Miami County, Indiana, unrelated to the Delphi murders.
Yikes.
He says, though, that Indiana State Police told him Anthony Schatz had been communicating with Libby before her murder. So why do you think investigators are putting so much focus on you right now?
I have not a clue. I think it's because they said I was the last person to talk to her, is what they've told me.
And then she shows up at the bridge and they're abducted and later found dead.
Right.
And that was not you.
No, 100% not.
Kegan says he has no memory or knowledge of communicating with Libby, and investigators haven't confirmed if what he says is true.
Okay, so a lot to break down there, and I see comments. I see Hun Mimi in the comments. I see, was it Angela? Who was it? No, it wasn't Angela. It was Hungry Helmet. Yeah, I just agreed with you in the chat. He sounds, although it's just a male over kind of a raspy, or, not a great phone that they're getting that recording from, he kind of sounds like the guys down the hill voice. I don't know what I think about this case. If I think he is this guy, do I think that he had something to do with it? Kind of. I think it could have been someone he knew for sure, but he does kind of sound like it. Darla, Aaron, need to compare faces with the guy on the bridge to the guy in the orange on the phone. So yeah, and that's what we can do real quick. The faces, exactly. That Hungry Helmet just beat me to it. The face of Kegan Kline, in my opinion, this guy right here, doesn't really look a whole lot like this guy here. Now, we know that this was the initial composite that they ran with, though this was the actual second composite that they created. And then they backtracked, and they ended up going back to this initial composite, which is a less detailed composite overall. So I'm going to just show kind of both throughout this stream, but I want to show you guys some photos of his father. Now, this is where, in my opinion, things are a little bit different when we're looking at his father here. So let me quickly open this up here. Actually, I have to quickly screenshot this. Bear with me. Technical issues. Kegan's father. All right, let's open this up now. We'll compare these two. Okay, there we go. All right, let me pull up the initial composite. All right, bear with me. Thank you guys for... All right, stream. Come on. Delphi. Okay, here we go. This is the first composite. Just let me know what you guys think of this. Lady May, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Let me move these over so I'm not kind of in the way here. Do you guys think... Now, pretend he has a hat on. Almost the... I know that he's got kind of a squinted face on this left image. But the actual shape of the brows going in over the nose kind of feels similar. I don't know. Compare the voice. Yeah, we'll do the voice in a moment. But I just, when I saw that, I was just like, I don't know. And then here's this. This is the initial one, which feels a little bit less to me. Mrs. Kelly says, I see it, but I feel the father is a better dresser in other videos. Well, that's the thing, Mrs. Kelly. Maybe the father wouldn't dress in his normal clothing. And once again, I'm not entirely sure. Shannon says, how tall are they? The down the hill guy looks pretty tall. That's a good question. I think the father was over 6 feet. Rhonda says the nose and facial shape is similar. Let's listen to the audio file real quick of the guys down the hill, and then we'll play a little bit of Keegan's video that we just listened to. Also, sorry if you can hear my laundry going. You can probably definitely hear it now that I've pointed it out. But I'm doing some last minute Friday night laundry. I love going into the weekend like with nothing to do. No laundry, clean the house, all of it. So I'm getting the last couple loads of towels done. Soleo says, no, not identical, but on the photo he is smiling, change a lot. Yeah, I was just curious of what you guys thought, if you guys thought he sounded or looked similar at all. I'm not saying that I 100% feel that, but just somewhat. Okay, let's listen to these two up together. So I'm going to play a little bit of Keegan's, and then we'll play the guys down the hill as well.
Investigators are putting so much focus on you right now.
I have not a clue. I think it's because they said I was the last person to talk to her. Is what they've told me.
And then
it has a similar like tone to it, right? Soleo, weak. Yeah, no worries. Wait, no, you can't. What? Ty? Sorry, I'm missing some of the chats. Rhonda says, but I think the father isn't close to the sketch. Okay, so it's mixed. It's mixed. I thought there was a little similarity in the initial sketch, but I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Sue P says the drawings are not good. I would not even compare because they are derived from a very poor video. Wait, so Sue, are the composites derived from that video? Because I thought that they were able to get a composite, and correct me if I'm wrong, some people that may be in this chat are following this case way closer than I am, but I thought that they got the composite sketch from someone else that was on a trail that day that had seen a male. And they got that sketch from that firsthand account. Oh, no, you can't hear my laundry. Okay, that's good. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, yeah. Thank you for chiming in on that. Anyways, wow, that's eerily similar. Dad and son duo, hunting prey. I think the dad was the lead. So, real quick, for those who weren't in my last stream, this is a wonderful map description of that area. And this is the Monon High Bridge trail entrance. Reportedly, they were dropped off right here at this little this little drop off spot where there was an entry to the trails, and they walked through the trail. This is heading down towards the southeast. The city of Delphi is over here for reference. If you want to look into this area yourself, you just go right next to this highway here, and then the actual trail ends and the bridge begins right here. And right over here is where they would have taken their photos on Snapchat. If you're familiar with the case, you know that they took some photos on Snapchat. We have those photos. We can look at those again in a second. But if you want to go back to my old kind of initial video around the Delphi case, we've mapped kind of this whole entire thing out. But I just want to point out again, the end of the bridge where the guys down the hill was said, and I see a lot of your comments saying it sounds like him. So I'm going to play it once more in a second. I'm going to try to turn it up a little bit. But yeah, I am seeing your guys' comments for sure. Anyways, this is where that video was taken, where we see the snapshot of the bridge guy right here heading towards Libby and Abby, where he would have said, guys down the hill. Now, I don't know exactly, because they pulled the audio. I don't know exactly when he said that and how close he was to them, because I don't think it was from that exact video that we see. I don't think he was that far down the tracks on the bridge. But anyways, this is where the abduction site, is what they're calling it here, would have happened. My theory, and I think a lot of people have similar thoughts behind this, is that whoever did this parked in the cemetery. 100% to me, it sounds like the place to park. Cemeteries during the day, during the week, likely aren't super happening, right? It's Valentine's Day, so possibly someone is visiting a loved one, a past, husband or wife is visiting, someone who had passed, possibly wishing them well, saying they love you, that kind of thing on Valentine's Day. So possibly there would have been more of a risk of being seen. But cemeteries, to me, in in small towns, rural areas like this, you don't really come across many people. So to park right here and to cut through these trees would allow you to just go straight onto the trailhead, enter the bridge, walk across. Right here is where the abduction happened. They would have gone down this hill, crossed the creek bed. Right here is where the murder scene happened. Okay, so if we look at this, it appears to me like he was trying to get them back to the cemetery. Why did they end up here? Unless they ran and he had to catch up to them. But what we've also talked about in a previous live stream, and I'm going to mention it here because I feel like it's worth mentioning still, even though we've talked about this already. I think that he had a gun. I think this guy had a gun in his pocket. It's really, really hard to see in this video. It's really hard to see, but in his front right pocket, right here, to me, looks like a gun. If you move it slowly, you can see that there's something that kind of has the shape of a gun in that pocket. I mean, look at that right there. It looks like the back of a Glock right here. It looks like he put it in his pocket strangely, in a strange, why you would have the barrel over here facing at an angle, I don't know. But to me, I'm thinking these girls, because you've got two girls, if there's one guy, which there could have been someone else, in a car or somewhere else to meet up with them. If you've got one guy and two, able-bodied teenagers that could probably run or put up somewhat of a fight, I'm almost banking on the fact that he had some sort of a weapon to control the situation. Chris Davis, I do too, Aaron. I thought one of the girls said, does he have a gun? I know that was talked about, Chris, in a previous, or on some other live streams. They were analyzing audio from certain things, seeing if they could hear someone say that. I don't know. And Ashley, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But to me, in order to control two people in a situation like this, where you have to walk close to a quarter of a mile if he was indeed parked at the cemetery, regardless of where he was, a gun could have been that way, a knife, some sort of a weapon. I'm not saying he 100% had a gun in his pocket, but that would be the only way I feel like you could control two people.
I feel like I'm being harassed completely.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
I don't want to hear him. I don't like hearing him. Actually, I need to bring that back up because we may go through his voice again. That auto plays on that website if you don't play it often. But possibly, and the theory in my head is that you can only control someone so much, and then the fear could set in, and that may have been what happened right here. And they may have started to fight back. And my gosh, I think they mentioned there was a fight. It looked like they put up a fight of some sort. Those girls, man, like it's horrific to think about, but this could have been where they put up a fight, and then he realized, oh, I'm not going to get them back to the car. This is where things end for today. And that's where, unfortunately, their bodies were found, which is, just terrible. This purple, very quickly, I just want to mention, this purple area indicates the first known search area, the initial search area when they first searched for Abby and Libby on day 1. Okay, so you can see that they got very close to where the bodies ended up being found, but they were focusing their search all along the entry to the trail, which is spanning a lot of distance here. And they didn't even supposedly they didn't even get dropped off. They got dropped off further up, right? Which it would make sense to check the entirety of this trail if someone was missing on this trail. So people ask, why weren't they found that first day? Well, that's a lot of area to cover in just a day. Someone asked about some equipment, some audio equipment. Let me see. Miss Wee Lassie. Oh, hey, how's it going? Do you not have any software so you can clean up some of the background noise on the voice recording? A gun would silence someone from potentially shouting out. Yeah, I personally have some audio equipment. It's not my specialty by any means. I know that some people have taken that audio clip of the guys down the hill, which I know, Joyce, that just it hurts you to hear that, and you get terrified every time you hear the guys down the hill thing. But I know some people have cleaned up that audio. Cleaned audio, guys down the hill. We could see about listening. So this is a cleaned up version, apparently.
Hello, subscribers.
Okay, he has music to it. Hold on, he's gonna have an intro here.
I'm attempting to make bridge pressed member.
Why is there music? Why would he put music? Because that sounded cleaned up. Listen to that at the beginning.
Hello,
That sounded like a much cleaner version of it, but why put the music in the background? Yeah, okay. Let's look for another one. Let me read some of your guys' comments. Also, thank you to the almost 800 people that are here tuning in on a Friday afternoon. I never expected this many people to tune in. We don't cover the Delphi case as much as we probably should here on this channel. Obviously, as there's new updates, we're gonna for sure hop on them just to keep people kind of filled in as much as possible. But thanks to the people that are here, to the 246 of you that have hit that like button already. Thank you guys. If you're enjoying this content, definitely join the crew. We're almost at 22,000 people. So thanks for being here. I'm gonna look for a cleaned up audio version real quick, and then we will cleaned up audio Delphi. Let's try to find one without music in the background, and then I'll read some of your guys' comments. Danielle says sounds worse. Yeah, sometimes it sounds worse for sure when you clean up stuff like that. It sometimes isn't. It can almost make things sound more. Yeah, just worse in general. Carol, I love watching your videos. Thank you, Carol. Hungry Helmet, I was going to recommend searching a clean version. Yeah, thank you. I should have had this ahead of time here. enhanced and cleared up footage. We don't want enhanced footage. We want clean up your audio. No, that's an ad for an audio software. The voice in the audio recording. This one's an audio comparison. We'll come back to that sub count later. Thank you guys for following along. Let's listen to this. Check out my other videos. Okay. Hold on. Let's see.
Get second. Atta boy.
Who was that supposed to be?
Atta boy. Atta boy.
I don't know who this is supposed to be, actually. The BG audio may have been cleaned up, blah, blah, blah. I have no expertise in audio. Okay, I don't know who this was that I just shared that video. I don't know what that was supposed to be. But I will say, and I'm going to share this in the description of the video right now. There is on the Indiana.gov site, and I forgot to share this, the audio. I'll put it Indiana audio files, or I'll just put audio files. On their site, you can actually download the proper audio files of the line that everyone is so aware of, the guys down the hill line. So I've saved it. If you refresh it, it is this site here, and it's an official Indiana State Police website. It has all the information currently right now, which you can email tips. There's also the number on this site, as well as in the description of my YouTube video right now. It has, the looping video that you can download, which is right down here. You have the audio, the WAV files, MP3 files. So I would assume the best way to go about it, if you want to do this.
I feel like I'm being harassed completely.
Did you have...
I feel like I'm being harassed by this guy interrupting me. I'm just going to exit out. We compared his voice a little bit earlier. I know that it was kind of mixed on whether you guys thought it sounded like him. I think it kind of does, which makes me wonder, what does his father sound like? That would be interesting to compare the audio. But anyways, if you want to go do this yourself and compare the audio or check out the proper video files, feel free. Vicky Lynn says, guys, down the hill, full body chills. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron, I can't hear, but Chris from MOB Monsters Under Our Bed has a full audio before. Oh, cool. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Also, Chris, I know you're not missing out on much. It's very hard to hear what he's saying. It's not a super clear description. But yeah, good to see you in here, Chris. Also, I definitely turned on closed captions. I remember, as you are my reminder every day. I always put it on my little reminders before I live stream to turn on closed captions. Good to see you in here, Chris. Anyways, so in that video earlier, we were told that Keegan lived in this area his whole life. He grew up in Young America. He spent some time in Young America, which is only 30 minutes away. And then he spent some time in Peru, Indiana as well. And so he supposedly was from this area. And a lot of his friends around that time, that they were able to connect with, basically said that they were surprised at a lot of his accusations. A lot of people think he's a compulsive liar, but the child P situation surprised a lot of people. Beautiful CC, absolutely. There's my laundry. It just finished. A coincidence, he happened to be messaging them from the Anthony Shots profile shortly before the girls died. I have heard of other coincidences. I have just never seen one before. Keegan knows what happened. I agree. I agree. Oh, his dad has a high-pitched voice. Interesting. It makes you wonder if now his dad has a high-pitched voice, now that everyone's going to be listening to his voice. I'd like to hear a video of his father from 2016, prior to 2017. Pandiv says his voice really does sound like BG. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Also down below is the, 400 and something page transcript. I am not going through this today. It is, like I said, linked down below in the description if you would like to go through it. We're going to go through a Reddit post here that talks about some of the highlights from the transcript that came out. But first, this is from the Delphi subreddit. Someone says, I'm sure this has been discussed before, but I can only catch up monthly with updates. Could there have been 2 perpetrators and only one was captured on film? It could also explain why one girl wasn't able to run at any stage. And that's a great point. A lot of people have said maybe there was somebody waiting down the hill and there was a second person, a second perpetrator. And that would maybe rule out the idea that there was a gun that was controlling them, or there was still a gun that was controlling them, and then they still maybe decided to fight back. Who knows? But anyways, some people, obviously are agreeing, saying possibly, but unlikely. I don't think it's difficult to understand why one didn't run. One doesn't run because the human brain will respond to trauma with fight, flight, or freeze. They froze. Not surprising. So these are people obviously speculating that Abby and Libby froze. I mean, if they completely froze, they wouldn't have ended up maybe where they were. Part of me thinks they really went down the hill and they were kind of cooperating. But once again, that's just me from behind my computer screen trying to make sense of all of this. Haley, you should have many more subs. You are amazing. Oh, thank you, Haley. That's very nice of you. Tom, I might consider the possibility of coincidence if it wasn't for the ski mask story. Explain that again, Tom. I need to be caught up as well. Sketches don't look anything like the Kleins. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much we should trust the sketches too, though, right? It's like they went back on something. It's just they went back to the initial one. It's just hard to say. This person on Reddit basically is talking about the, this is from one day ago. He's referencing the transcript that I linked down below that came out from the Murder Sheet podcast. Obviously, this is kind of a recap, but more than 5 years have passed since the murders of 2 young girls in a small Indiana town. Nobody has been arrested in the case, but details have slowly been revealed about a man accused of using a fake online persona to speak with one of the victims prior to her death. Abigail Williams and Liberty German were found murdered on February 14th. Their murders are still unsolved. In December 2021, Indiana State Police requested tips regarding a fake profile under the name Anthony Schatz. If you guys were here at the beginning of the stream or you follow this case, you know this. Let's point to now, which is the transcripts. Now, we've received transcripts of an interview between Klein and investigators from 2020. The interview transcript from a questioning in a child P case reveals police believe 2 people were using the Anthony Schatz profile. That's the account being investigated by state police in the murders of Abby and Libby. The 194, sorry, I thought it was a 400 page. The 194 page interview transcript between Klein and Indiana State Police investigator and a deputy from an unidentified sheriff's office also details some of Liberty German's final conversations, including some from the day she reported missing, which brings me back to the interview with Keegan Klein in the jail when he said he doesn't recall talking to Libby. And I call BS on that so hard. Granted, this guy, this sick individual, likely was preying on dozens of young children, right? He was probably reaching out to as many as he could in an effort to get 2% of them to maybe message back. He quoted being a sad, lonely individual at the time. That is true. He's also sick and twisted, and he absolutely remembers talking to Libby, even though there could have been a moment where he was talking to dozens of people. So I can understand where maybe he forgot, but don't try to pull that, no, I don't remember talking to her. Absolutely not. That is, no, I don't buy that at all. The document was given to iTeam by founders of the Murder Sheet podcast who have been following the case and obtained the court documents. Okay, so the entire transcription. Okay. During the interview, Klein admits using the account to get sexual photos and videos of underage girls. Klein also says someone else had access to his account, but the name is redacted in the documents. He also admits having contact with Liberty German. The redacted section that they talk about in the interview or the video I played at the beginning of this stream from News Nation Now, they were talking about how the only way they were going to release these transcripts were if they blanked out names of currently innocent individuals. That redacted name could be his father. That redacted name absolutely could be Klein's father, Tony, because he had admitted that his father had used his account. So I'm assuming that his father's name is blanked out of these documents. But this is just, they gotta be close on this, at least to uncovering more around these twisted individuals, whether or not at the end of all of this, they for sure had something to do with the murder of Abby and Libby. They've got to be getting close on, tying people to Klein, because he clearly wasn't fully acting alone, which was a lie. He talked to her and wanted to meet up. Absolutely. Yeah. Cindy Stevens, where are you reading the transcripts? This current thing that I'm reading right now is a post from a subreddit, but the actual transcripts are linked in the description of this YouTube video. If you go down in the YouTube video, okay. Daniel. Yeah. Aaron, he's trying not to incriminate himself. He said he may not remember. Oh yeah, I know exactly what he's doing, but yeah, I don't buy it. You admitted that you talked to her a few hours at a sleepover and then you blocked her because she was annoying. You remember that? The investigator asks. Klein responds saying, "You are right. Yeah." Throughout the course of the interview, Klein denied exchanging photos and messages with German. Eventually, a state police detective says, quote, "I'm telling you it's fact you did, okay? Because the Anthony Shots persona that the fake account you admitted to making communicated with Liberty German on Snapchat, on Instagram, and like I said, it was not just for a couple hours." So this called him on that very quickly. As detectives detail on February 13th, 2017, the day Abby and Libby went missing, they tell Klein 8 o'clock in the morning at your house where you and your dad lived. 2 separate devices. See the numbers here, how they're the same. Log in, log out, one device, log in, log out, all within minutes of each other to the same Anthony Shots Snapchat account. There's too much going on with this dad and Keegan. Page in DC, there's 767 people in here. Why haven't you all hit the thumbs up? 48%. Wow, we got Paige in here with the percentage of people that haven't hit the like button. I like that, Paige. And Joyce, thanks for reminding everyone to hit that like button. Appreciate it. The detective also tells Klein, regardless of what you say, there are 2 different authors of those messages. They're not both you. They're both your devices, but the phrasing is different. It changes. It's not the same person. So we know we have multiple logins with Snapchat. We have 2 different people using Kik Messenger talking to people from your residence. After my initial stream, someone emailed me after not my initial Abby and Libby stream, but I think the second one we did, they were talking about this Keegan guy and how he likely could have been a part of a ring of child P. It is very common, apparently, I don't know much about this stuff, but what I've been told from people like you messaging me, emailing me, DMing me on Twitter, whatever it may be, apparently some of these groups of predators, of disgusting individuals, will seek out images and they will share them with each other. And so It's like a database of people that share these explicit images. And so it sounds like, at the very least, something maybe like that was going on with this Keegan guy, because we've got multiple people logging into his account and messaging people. It's like super, super, super strange. There's got to be more people. He's clearly not saying enough to incriminate himself, let alone any other people involved in this, but there's clearly more people involved. The detective also tells Klein, I just said that. Klein denied knowing who else might have accessed the account, which is crazy. He also blamed and said his dad could have been the guy who did that when he was interviewed by the writer in the video we watched earlier. Detectives also point out a conversation Klein had with one of Libby's friends after the murder. She said, "Did you hear about Liberty?" You responded, Anthony, on the Shots account, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" That's talking to someone about the two girls who were missing, then wound up dead. Klein responds, "Right, I guess you're right, yeah." Also, I have to say, to respond, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" in a town where you allegedly are from that area or you've been in that area, everyone knew at this point. So if you're saying that he responded days, weeks later to another girl in the town who had asked about Liberty and Abby, and he just responded, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Like, very weird. He should have just responded like, "Yeah, I heard about that. It was tragic," if he really wanted to not blow his cover. Bluegrass Brittany, Aaron said link. Oh yeah, link is in the description for the transcripts. Thank you so much, Brittany. Yeah, if anyone wants to read the transcript, I'm reading kind of a paraphrased excerpt from the transcript, but the transcript is down in the description. It's very long. Cindy Stevens, social media is so scary. Yeah, be careful on social media. Be very careful on social media. Be careful who you're talking to. Be careful what you're posting. Yeah. Mama Bear, can you imagine the disgusting conversations in that house between those sick monsters? Yeah, I cannot. Anyways, continuing on, we'll finish this up and then I'll see what you guys have to say, and then we'll wrap this up. We're at the hour mark. So once again, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much for joining me this Friday afternoon. Okay, where was I? Investigators tell Klein that the same girl, yep. A section of the interview also details Klein's phone history, which in their words was nonstop searches of the Delphi case, which I should have read that before pausing last time. You mean to tell me he had no idea about these murders when he was talking to someone, yet he had searched nonstop multiple times about the Delphi case? Police also told Klein he was sending Snapchat messages to Libby after he was aware of her death, which he said he didn't remember doing. This guy, I'm telling you, this guy he knows something. In my heart, or in my head, I feel like it. During the interview, Klein also twice references a polygraph test that he was given in the Delphi murder investigation, and both time indicates police told him he failed the test. Investigators asked Klein, quote, "Why would you, after you failed the polygraph about knowing about the Delphi investigation, come home, delete your Snapchat and your Instagram, which you used to communicate with Libby, and then you searched, how long does DNA last? Why would you do that?" Did he really Google that? Did he really Google how long? Allegedly, guys. I need to go into the transcript now. Did he really Google how long does DNA last? Okay, if this is true, Delphi likely is like this close with all this information, because what would be your reason for Googling that? Unless you... I'm very suspicious. Let's get some of these in the chat. These right here, what I just put. Also some red flags. Oh my gosh. Okay. Very weird. Okay, sorry. Continuing on. I have to confirm that after the stream maybe and go into the transcript. Just before the interview ends, the detective reminds Klein that when he was asked if he knows who killed Libby and Abby, quote, "You did say no both times in your polygraph, and guess what? That was deception." Several times throughout the interview, Klein denies killing Abby and Libby. Klein has not been charged in their murders, and neither has anyone else. It's also important to note that neither investigators nor Klein were under oath during this interview, and law enforcement is allowed to exaggerate facts during questioning. Klein is due back in court April 14th. So a lot is going to be happening. April 14th, he's due back in court. So we're talking like less than 3 weeks from today. Klein will be back in court. I see all the red flags in the chat. I see all the people that have access to emotes. My goodness. Daniel Tribley, he failed too. Apparently. Chris, what the heck happened about the dog and dog hairs? I don't know. I need to catch myself up to speed here. Like I said, also I should mention Grizzly True Crime is another really fantastic creator who has dove really deep into this case as well. I mentioned Gray Hughes Investigates as a source for information with some good like visuals, as well as Zav Girl. But if you are unfamiliar with Grizzly True Crime, she's also someone that I've watched some of her videos to catch myself up to speed with the Delphi case. I want to say again, it's very hard to follow all of these cases when there's constantly stuff being talked about and being, coming out. So while I am excited to hop on here and just kind of update you guys, I don't want to by any means claim that I'm 100% up to speed on every little thing on a case. So I hope you guys appreciate that little disclaimer. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, if you haven't already, join the crew of people. We're close to 22,000 people. We often talk about missing people, missing persons cases. I make videos kind of centered around true crime. Currently, I'm actually self-producing a documentary, basically an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. If you've ever seen the show Unsolved Mysteries, donations like Sue's $5 donation there are directly going into the funding for my documentary. It's costing me personally thousands of dollars to self-produce this documentary, but I hope that it will shed the biggest light that has ever been shed on this particular case. Almost a 20-year-old case that has effectively gone cold. So thank you guys for your support on my channel. Any of the money I make, this isn't my full-time gig. Any of the money I make on this channel goes back into stories like this, and specifically right now, one that really needs a big light cast on it. So thank you, Sue, for the super chat, the super sticker, and thank you guys for being here, for following along. If there are ways beyond just kind of coming to the live streams, subscribing, those kinds of things, if you want to help, I'm going to be having a very dedicated stream very soon that will go over how you can help with that documentary if you'd like to get more involved. So I really, I appreciate it. Thank you for keeping your channel on a higher level. Constant cursing on YouTube is bad. Oh, well, thank you so much. Deals? Marie Deathy Deals? I'm so sorry if I said your name incorrectly. I'll be honest. I say some curse words here and there in my daily life, but I don't. Yeah, in talking about cases like this, I don't really feel the need to. And YouTube, they suppress your content from going out to more people if you're constantly cursing and doing all that. So why do that and then keep the content from potentially reaching more people? Bluegrass Brittany, love you and your crew. Thank you. Well, you're part of the crew. We enjoy having you here. Thank you. Michelle, oh my gosh, what the F? Dude, come on. He freaking knows what happened because he did it. My speculation. But come on, guys. He went home after failing the polygraph twice and Googled how long does DNA last. Exactly. It's super suspicious. Alicia, I love your channel. Aaron, thank you so much. Darla, what about clothes fiber transferred? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure they have something. They've got something going on. I'm sure they're much closer than we think. Bluegrass Brittany, the things he Googled. I haven't gone into the transcript yet, Brittany, but I can only imagine some of the details that they go over based on what I've seen so far. Chris says, no, just transfer hairs from a dog. Oh, okay. Okay. Love the feel of the channel. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Like I said, we focus on a lot of different stuff here. Right now, we're primarily focused on the Summer Wells case. That is just a case with many twists and turns, and it's one of those things. It's also a really hard one to follow, just because it's a tough situation overall. It's not easy to go through that day in and day out. Also, for those who are unaware, this is the Anthony Schatz profile. This is the guy now. He was a younger male model this is what he looked like, 10 years ago when he was probably 16. He's probably at least 26 minimum now, and he's an officer. He's a police officer in Alaska. I know a lot of you are already familiar with this story, but I found that to be pretty interesting. He feels terrible that his photos could have been used to kind of lure young women to this sleazebag. So that's him right there. He tuned in for an interview a while back. EM with the super sticker, the clapping super sticker. Thank you so much, EM, for that. Really appreciate that. Good to have you here. Or M, should I say. I don't know. I never know what to say. Soleo, Grizzly True Crime, and Michelle After Dark are my go-to channels. Very decent, no drama, details on point. Yeah, Soleo, I agree. I go to Michelle After Dark almost daily just for my kind of Summer Wells debriefing. She's, over in the UK, and so I wake up to her videos almost every day. I enjoy her take for sure. Arms of an Angel, aka Chrissy, says Tim Mullins was arrested in 2017 for selling fentanyl, which caused numerous overdose deaths. Oh. I didn't realize that. I believe they have enough evidence to convict KK, but they're waiting to get more on TK because they believe he is involved. Just my speculation. Yeah, Tom, I agree. I mean, unless Keegan was just throwing him under the bus entirely, and he really doesn't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, shame on Keegan for doing that, for throwing his own father under the bus. Jackie Kerr with the 20 pounds. Thank you so much for the is that a super chat, super sticker? For the super sticker. Wow, that's super generous of you. Thank you so much. Also, Carol Brown coming in. Thank you again, Carol. I thank you for being here. Also, you guys are awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Everyone's name, by the way, when I do my kind of stream where I really focus on my documentary and people that want to help contribute in that stream I'm going to talk about this. Every single person that donates to this channel is getting in the end of my documentary, not the actual documentary, but the behind the scenes of it. Everyone's name will be there as a special thanks to just all the people that have kind of helped fund this project for me. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for the donos. Jackie, Carol Brown, thank you so much. You guys really appreciate that. Angela says, oh my gosh, imagine having your pic stolen to entice underage girls. I can't imagine. Hey, Aaron, I'm late, but I finally caught a live stream. Thank you for highlighting this case some more. I hope they finally get this guy. Melissa, thank you. And yeah, we're kind of wrapping up right now, Melissa. It wasn't an incredibly long stream, so if you want to go back through, feel free. This video will post as its own kind of standalone video after the fact. We're kind of just chit-chatting now, wrapping things up. If people are still watching and are wanting to hear more on the Delphi stuff, we're kind of wrapping. I'm just kind of reading people's comments, but thanks so much, Melissa. Soleo, thank you. KK isn't throwing his father under the bus and has kept his name away from most of his of this, but he has thrown a dealer to the cops, but weed isn't what the cops want, and KK knows it. Yeah, yeah, throw a weed dealer under the bus. They're looking for the person who is responsible for this murder, right? Yeah. Stay safe. I heard there was a problem down there. Bella, are you talking about Miami? Are you hearing the sirens out there? No, it's just downtown Miami. We're just in the thick of it right now. I'm not near all of the crazy spring break stuff, but thank you for asking. We're staying safe for sure. Nick says maybe KK was trying to create doubt. I mean, you never know what he's trying to do. I mean, he's guilty. He's clearly guilty of his crimes. I don't know at the end of the day, truly, if he's guilty of involvement with the Delphi case. But also, I see that people are kind of filtering out. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I'm going to stay here for 5 more minutes and read some comments coming through because I feel like I just did a lot of like dumping information out there, and I really didn't. I didn't stop to kind of read your guys' comments. I was seeing them go by, and I appreciate your guys' interaction throughout the entire stream. But I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes just hanging out with you guys. Panda B says, oh, the Tim Mullen fentanyl thing is a mistaken identity or just... I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that. Jessica Brown, I will have to go back and listen. I'm late to the live. This case is so disturbing. It happened a couple hours from where I live, and I have been praying that they catch this monster. Wow, Jessica. Yeah, I'm sure that being somewhere, being close to where you're at, I'm sure it's been on a lot of people's minds in the last few years for sure. I feel like they're close though, Jessica. I hope that for the community. Because you got to think about it. Like, these 2 girls were killed like within the last, 5 years? And they didn't find this guy, like brutally murdered. Like, that shakes a community. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in my documentary, is that, these small towns, when something like this happens in a small town, and you live there, like it happened to me, like I lived in a small town where something crazy happened. It really it shifts the fabric of what you think of that small town, or it not shifts the fabric. It totally changes. It shifts your mindset on, oh, are we safe in this little sleepy town? Like you always have to watch out. You always have to be aware of what's going on. Sue says, thank you for bringing this to light. We all appreciate it. We all want this case to be solved. 100%. Jennifer, my phone. Oh, Jennifer Harris. VC tried that. I didn't see anything on my end. Wonder if it has to do with me having an Android. What's VC saying? VC, if you click on the money sign at the... Oh. Did Jennifer have something that I missed? Yeah. I'm trying to catch everyone's messages right now. He's guilty of so much horrid actions. Yeah. This case bothers me so much because the girls had enough knowledge to get him on video, and she hid the phone so he couldn't see it. Yeah. These poor girls. Chris, I'm going to go read the transcript. Don't forget about the dog hairs and mob audio of girls. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, be careful with that transcript. It's a long one, and apparently it can get tough to listen to. So, oh my gosh, Sunny Girl, thank you so much for highlighting all these cases. I feel like the crowdsourcing info is actually eventually going to get resolution to these crimes. Crowdsourcing. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Sunny Girl, thank you so much for that super chat. That's so kind. Really. Also, T42, greetings from Finland, Aaron. Thank you. Gosh, Finland. I'd love to go to Finland right now. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you both. That was so kind. But yeah, I agree with you, Sunny Girl. I think the crowdsourcing info, going through all of this, it doesn't hurt to just keep talking about cases like this. Imagine if no one was talking about this anymore. Obviously, you're going to have local law enforcement that is there day in and day out that are working for this case. But you hope that things like this, keeping a steady light on cases like this, keep law enforcement like moving every single day. They realize like people aren't going to just let this thing die. They're not going to let this case go cold. So I agree with you. Sue, thank you for the super sticker. Sue P, thank you for the $10 super sticker. You guys are being super generous right now. I really appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to show you guys something. The people that are here right now, I'm going to show you. One sec. Also, Jennifer, yay, I found it. Thanks, Alexa. So now I'll do the once per month since it's free. Yeah, Jennifer, if you're a member, I think you get like a free super sticker or super chat once a month. So thank you so much for utilizing your super chat. All right, 1 second. Dragon Moose, I'm living for your live streams. Nice. Okay. Okie dokie. Something very cool for a future live stream. So we're going to have a pretty cool thing going on the documentary live stream. We're going to have some fun wheel spin things. So for the people that are here right now, you got to see that there's going to be some interactive aspects to this stream that I do here in the near future. So it'll be very cool. There'll be some really fun stuff. Found you a while back. Just wanted to say I love how you interact with your members and all the time you spend on research to share information. Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Seems like KK said a fake meetup with Libby and Anthony shots and ambush the girls with a gun. I mean, I really believe I believe that he had some sort of a weapon to control them. It just seems like that's the only, I don't know, maybe not. Spin the wheel, yay. Sue P, thanks for becoming a level 1 supporter. Oh, Ty, yeah, hold on. Ty, it looks like so much fun. Absolutely. This is what it's going to be. Okay, so guys, I promise I'm almost done with the stream. There's like 600 people still in here just hanging out. But yeah, it's going to be a fun stream. Rhonda's like, can't wait for that stream. I'm getting it all planned out right now, but it's going to be like this. Oh, you can't see it, but you'll get to see me or the wheel in that box, and then there'll be different numbers. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting excited. Friendly reminder, you can help the channel by tapping the like button. Absolutely. Thanks to the mods for being here. I should wrap this up. It's 4:40. We're trailing on. I'm gonna get off so this video can upload as its own standalone video and people can kind of watch the first hour or so that is actually around this case. So I don't want to trail on too much. But definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification if you want to be informed every time I go live. Even if you hit the notification, sometimes YouTube doesn't notify you. So it's worth hitting that so you don't miss a future stream. I'm going to try to be more active on the community tab on my YouTube. So stay on the lookout for future things like the fun interactive streams that we're going to go through, that we're going to be doing. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. Ty, end of chat reminder, tier 2 shout out, even though oh yes, thank you so much. I have it pulled up right here. Tier 2 supporters. Shout out to the tier 2. Also, Ty, thank you so much for reminding me. I'm gonna hit play one more time. Double support shown. Thank you guys so much. Yes, perfect, beautiful, wonderful. Wait, is your name on there, Ty? Am I missing it? I'll look through it. Ty, shout out to you. You get a personal shout out, not just on the thing. I might need to update that. Okay, that's it. 593 people. Thank you guys. Hit that like button on your way out. Thank you to all the people who donated, who joined. We will see you guys in the next stream. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. See you guys next time.